So today's topic will be Power Query Editor. So first we'll understand what this Power Query Editor is. This Power Query Editor actually is used for cleaning the data or data modeling. Say for example, I want to import some data. Say I have some data here. I'll try to import this and see if I can clean the data. So first we'll take this Excel raw data. This is a file. I'll try to import this and see what all things we can do in this. Let me just go here. I'll say get data and I'll say Excel. So we have done this in our previous section as well. I'll just select this Excel file and say OK. So once I select this, I'll get the list of tables, and we have already seen this and we are aware of this. So all the tables will get imported. We have to select which all tables I need. So what I'll do, I'll not take all the tables. Let me just take few tables only. I'll just take this table and then I'll take this table. So we'll take one more table which is very small. Yes. This time instead of loading, I'll directly go to this transform data, and we know that transform data will take me to Power Query Editor. So we click on this transform data. So I've just taken only 3 tables so that it will be much faster to load. So I'll get the data here. So we already discussed that. Suppose if we have this column 1, column 2, or if the data is actually somewhere like this. So what we have to do is first you have to go and check this use first row as headers. So when I click on this, you know that here we have this query settings. So here the queries will get added step by step. See, got added. Now I'll get this. So anywhere if you see this, so I need to just use this use first row as headers. If you click on the small arrow here, we'll have one more option here, use headers as first row. That means, see here, sometimes what will happen, I have this heading here. So I'll say use headers as first row. Click on this. See, again it will come back here like this. So if you want to make this as header, I can say use first row as header. You can read that very clearly. Or I'll go here, I'll say use headers as first row. So this is first thing what we have to do. The column headers are very important. So first thing, whenever I take the data or say import the data, first I need to check the column headings. The rest all will continue later. Right. Let me just go here and see there are so many options here. Let's just explore this and then we'll come back and we'll work on each of options what is available here. We can see this, the tab home. Here I have so many options. So here I have this query, parameters, data sources, manage columns, reduce rows, then sorting, then transform, combine. And there is something called as transform. Here also you can find similar kind of things here. See the columns. Here I have this split columns. If you go to this home, here also I can see this split columns here. Some of the options are repeated. If you go here, say I'll find this format somewhere here also and here also. And if you go to this add column, here also I can find similar options which is there in transform. So I'll go to this transform. Here I can see, say some of the options, say number and column, you can see this. Similarly, here also I can see from number, you can see those options, from dates. And you can also see from text here. See, I told about format. Here also I'll have, and here also I'll have this format. So most of the options which are available in transform will be available in add column as well. Why they are available in both the places? The reason is, see, transform means it will transform the existing column. I'll show you one example. Let me just select this. Here it says format. I'll say uppercase. It will transform the existing column itself. But let's go here. I'll select the state. I'll say add column. Similarly, I'll go here. I'll say uppercase. So what it will do is it will add one more column here. You can see this. So don't get confused with why there are so many options here similar to this and here also. That is because one is transform means it will just transform in the existing columns. Add column means it will add a separate column. Fine. Then I have this view. If you want to change some view here, so I can view here. See, for example, if I close this query settings, I don't have this query settings now. I need that query settings. I can go here to view and click on this query settings. I'll get this query settings again. So likewise, I have different options here that we'll discuss when we start working on a lot of things. Then I have these tools. These are again, this will be discussing in the end. A lot of tools will, the options will be there to correct these datas and all. Let me just close this. So this is just a small overview of it. So what we'll do, we have different files here. I'll try to import files one by one, and then we'll see how we can use these options. Let me delete this so that I'll not overload my Power BI. Say, just select that, and I'm just saying delete. Select, say delete. Here I can say new source. From here also I can take the data, like what I did for get data. Here also I can take the data. I'll take this manage columns and I'll say open. When I get the data, let me just take one table, say okay. Fine. So I have a table here and the header is proper. Everything is fine. Here I have something called as manage columns. Mute. This manage columns actually used to remove some columns or choose some columns. Say for example, here I have so many columns here. If you see this, there are so many columns. If you want to go to this column, say for example, I want to go to one column that is sales. I have to go and search here like this. See here, I have this sales. Instead, what I can do is with this option of manage columns, directly I can go to that particular column. I have two options. One is choose column, one is remove columns. Let me click on this choose columns. Here I have two options again. One is choose columns and go to columns. Let me just click on this go to column first. See, I was talking about moving my selection to one of these columns. Say I want to go to this discount. Select this, say okay. I'll go to that column. Instead of searching like this, scrolling and then looking for the column. Next one is choose columns. Let me select this. I'll get a list of columns, whatever is there. Now I have already imported so many columns, but I need to do some reports for few columns only. Let me go here. I'll select few columns. Say I'll select order ID, say customer name, segment, sales, and then profit. Only these columns are selected. I'll say okay. See, I'll get only these columns. And if you go to my Power BI desktop, only these columns will be there. Like what I do for filtering the records, I can also select only those columns which are required. This is for choose columns. Now go to this view, query settings. Here I have removed other columns. The query, I'll just remove that. See, again I'll get all the other columns. It's not that they'll get deleted, so it will be there, but it'll just choose the required columns. All right, let me go to this home again. Here I have this remove column. So here I just chose some columns, so it was just showing whatever I chose the columns. Let me click on this remove. Here it says remove columns. Let me just select this. See, whatever I selected here, that got removed. Let me select this customer ID. I'll say remove columns. Customer ID will get removed. This is for removing single column. Suppose if you want to remove multiple columns, I'll go here. Say for example, I don't want this city. Select. I don't want this postal code. Hold control and then click on this. I go here. I'll say product ID. Hold control, select this. Say remove columns. Those three columns are removed. Next one. Say I have so many columns and I need to remove most of the columns. So one by one I have to keep selecting. Say I'll select this, select this. So I'll be keep selecting all the columns and then I'll remove. Instead what I can do is I can select only those which are required. Say for example, I want customer name. Then I'll select say order ID I need, order date I need. Then let's say I want this date. That's all. Rest all has to be removed. So what I'll do, I'll go here, say remove other columns. This is reverse of this remove columns. Remove columns will remove the selected columns. Remove other columns means it will remove all the other columns other than which are selected. See, only those columns which are selected will be remained. So manage columns are actually used for either I can choose whether I should keep the columns or I have to remove the columns, which will help me once I save this in my Power BI desktop. I'll get the selected data only. This is for manage columns. Right. Let me remove this. Let me import a new source now. That is for the records now. That is reduce rows. So here I have one more file here. So I've split this so that the Power BI desktop will run little faster and also it will be easy for me to explain. So let me select all these tables. Say okay. Now we worked on manage columns, that is on the columns. Now we'll see how we can work similarly for the rows, or we call it as records. First we'll see here keep rows and remove rows. Keep means whatever is selected I'll be keeping the rows, and remove means whatever is selected that will be removed. For example, let me go here, say keep rows. It'll say keep top rows. I have one table here. Let me select this. So here I have some data. I want to keep only top 10. Rest all I need to remove. Go here. I'll say keep top rows. It lasts for number of rows to keep. That is on top how many rows I need to keep. I'll say 10 rows and say okay. See, only the top 10 rows will be retained. Rest all will be removed. Keep bottom rows. Let me select this. Keep bottom rows. Do we have that? Okay. Keep bottom rows. Say I have some 1000 rows here. I'll say bottom 100 rows I'll keep. Say keep bottom rows. I'll say number of rows. I'll say 100 and say okay. How many rows are there? I think only 100 are there. Sorry, it's not 1000. Keep bottom rows. I'll say bottom. We'll say 25. Say okay. See, bottom 10 rows will be retained like this. Let's go here. Next, keep range of rows. So I can keep range of rows, that is from certain range to another range. Say I'll go to this keep range of rows. Let's say I have some data here. keep range of rows, it will ask for the first row. Let's say I want the rows from 26th row. From that row, from 26th row, how many rows I need? I'll say I want 25 rows. So from 26th row, I need 25 rows. I'll say okay. See, from 26, it will take 25 rows. That means from 26 to 50, I can see it. So this depends on my requirement. It's not that you have to always work on these things only. So it depends on you whether it is required or not. So these are the options available. You can utilize it. Next is keep duplicates. Let me go here, select this. Keep duplicate means if you see this, there are some duplicate values. Okay, this is not imported properly. I'll say use first row as headers. Now if you see this, there are some duplicate values here and some are unique. Unique means the combination of all these columns. So you can see this, these are all duplicate records. So I want to retain only the duplicate records. Say keep duplicates. Let me just click on this. See, all the duplicate records whichever are there, that will get removed. I mean, sorry, that will be retained. Let's select, say keep duplicates. See, so wherever the duplicates are there, only that is the combination of this will be retained. That is, I'm just keeping the duplicates. Right. Next, keep errors. You can see in this table there are some errors. So we have to retain this error for some reason. So let's go here, say keep errors. See, only those rows which have got errors will be retained. And I can see this. There are some errors here. Say this is 100% errors. Here some errors are there. For that, if you go here, so we'll have this column quality. Just click on this. You can see this. Go to view and say column quality. You can see what is the percentage of errors we have in this column. See here, I don't have any errors. So it is saying valid 100%. So no errors, no empty. In this, all are errors. So it is saying 100% errors. In this, I have one error in 4 records. So it is saying 25% error. Next, let's go to this. We have something called as remove rows. Let me click on this remove rows. See, remove top rows, remove bottom rows, and remove alternative rows. Similar to what we had in keep rows. Keep top rows, keep bottom rows. Same thing we have here. Remove top, remove bottom rows, and alternative rows. Let's see how this will work. We'll go to this, remove top rows. You can see this. There are some blank values or something. And here you can see this heading here. Now, if you go here, say use first row as headers. So this, see this. So whatever was there, that null value is again going here. It's still saying column 1, 2, 3. Suppose if you want to take this, I have to keep pressing this again and again. Instead, what I'll do, let me just remove this. Instead, let's remove these records. That is top 1, 2, 3, 4 records. Let me just hide this. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Top 4 records I'll remove. Go here and say remove top rows. I'll say 3 rows. Say OK. See, should have been 4, sorry. Okay, so 4 rows, sorry. Go here, say remove top rows. I'll say 4 rows. Say OK. See, now 4 rows got removed. Now here I have this heading. I'll say use first row as headers. So in the previous session, someone was asking like, how can we actually clean this, whether it should be always proper manner. So if you have data like this, which are having blanks or something, you can clean that like this as well. So depending on the data, what I have imported. One is I can clean the data in my data source itself and I can import. Suppose if I'm not cleaned and directly I've imported it, so I can use these options and I can clean the data as well. Right. Next, remove bottom rows. Let's go here. Say here, say remove bottom rows. I have some 25 records. I'll say remove few records here. Say remove bottom rows. I'll say remove some 15 records from bottom. I'll say okay. See, it's asked for number of rows. I'll say okay. See, from bottom 15 records got removed. Next one, remove alternative rows. That is, alternative rows means I can mention, so I can keep these many records and then remove these many records. Go here, say remove alternative records. So you can see I have 1, then I have 0 0, then again I have 2, then 1, then 0 0. I want to keep this record, then remove the next 2 records and again keep 1 record here. Say remove alternative rows. It will ask remove first row to remove. I'll say first row to remove, I'll say 2. That is from here, the second row. Number of rows to remove, I'll say 2. The next will say keep the next number of rows, I'll say 2. That means here it will start from second row here. Number of rows to remove will say 2 and 3 will be removed. And number of rows to keep, it will keep this 2 and 1 next 2 rows. Then it goes on. See, I'll just say okay. Wherever that 0 was there, that will get removed. So if you think that you have imported some data wherein you have to remove some records like this, alternative records, then you can remove it. But this should be uniform. Keep in mind, it should be uniform. It's not that I'll have 3 records here, then again 2 records have to keep, then again 4 records have to remove. So you cannot do that. This is uniform. Next one, remove duplicates. Like what we had, this keep duplicates. Similarly, here I have remove duplicates. It is very much similar to the option what we have in Excel. It will remove all the duplicates, that is the combination I'm telling. If you say this, I have 3 columns here. Let me just make this heading. So I have 3 columns. The combination of this is duplicate or unique. Now here I'll remove the duplicate, which is the combination of this. Let's go here. I'll say remove duplicate. Click on this. See, all the duplicates will be removed. Only unique records will be available here. Right. Next one, remove blank records, or say remove blank rows. Let's go here. Remove blank rows. We can say this. There are so many null values here. That is, the records are null. That means blank. Sometimes when I'm importing, so either I can clean this completely in my data source, or if I would have already imported, now I need to clean this. That is, I have to remove this. I'll go and I'll say remove blank rows. All the blank rows will be removed and I'll get the data like this. Next is remove errors. Like what we had, this keep errors here. Similarly, I have something called as remove errors. Right. Let me go here, say remove errors. You can say this view, I'll say column quality. It says error 8% in this, 8% in this, and 2% in this. Say remove errors removed only in this column. See, it got removed. Now it says error 0%. So like this, I can manage these columns and reduce the rows. That is, if you want to keep the rows, I can keep it. Otherwise, I can remove it. Right. Next one. Let me just delete all this. Okay. Next one, we'll see how to change the text columns. Text column means, let me just import and I'll show you. So if you see here, I have these data which is in small letters, or say some letters are there. I want to convert this into capital letters. Let me go here, select this. Either I can say right click and say transform, or I can go to this transform and say here we have this text, say format. Let's say I'll go here, right click, and I'll say transform and say uppercase. If I change this to uppercase, what will happen is this will get converted to uppercase. Right click, transform, uppercase. See, the entire data will get converted into uppercase. I want this to be in lowercase. Right click, transform, and say lowercase. This will get converted into lowercase. Same thing I can do in transform as well. If you want, I can make a duplicate of this. Let me just make a duplicate so that I can use it for another option as well. Right click, transform, say capitalize each word. When I say capitalize each word, so what will happen is here have the word here, say the first character will be capitalized. Say right click and I'll say capitalize each word. See, wherever the first word is there, that will become caps. This is for transforming. So right click, transform, I'll say trim. Trim means, suppose if I have extra characters, so that is space, the unwanted spaces that I can remove. Say I'll go here, I'll say trim. If there are any, see there were some spaces here that got removed. Let me just show you again. You say trim. We can see that there is some space here. And here there is no space in this column. So right click, transform, and I'll say trim. We can see that data got removed. Let's go here, select this. I'll say clean. Right click, transform, I'll say clean. See, all the data, there were some enter marks here, or say some hidden non-printable characters were there. Let me just remove this. See, you can see that some alt enter or some you know um, uh, some characters which are called as non-printable characters will be there. So if you want to clean that, say right click, say clean. That will get cleaned. And now you can see it is in one line. I want to know the length, the number of characters in this particular product ID. Right click, transform, and say length. See, it will give me the number of characters here. Now what will happen here when I'm actually trying to transform, it will transform within this column itself. But what I want is, I want this to be added, or say a separate column to be added here. Let's take another table here. Let me just remove this. Let me select this, say add column. Here I have this format. Here I have this format. Same thing what we did now. Let me select here. I'll say add column format. I'll say uppercase. See, a new column will be added. If I would have done same thing in transform, this will get transformed. Add column format. I'll say lowercase. The lowercase is added here. Select this. Anyways, this is capitalized already. So what I'll do is I'll take this one, this column, say capitalize each word. See, this will be converted into capitalize each word. That is, every character of a word, the first character of a word will be caps. Right. Next one is trim. Like, we'll go here. I'll say trim. A new column will be created, which will remove all the blank spaces here from the original column. Then select this. Say clean. See, it will be cleaned and it will be in a separate column. This is for cleaning the data, or converting the text. But there are few options. If you go here, which is called as add prefix and add suffix. Prefix means adding something in the beginning. Suffix means adding something in the end. Let me select this column. I'll go here, say format. I'll say add prefix. I'll just say ind space hyphen space. If I say OK, see, every cell will be added with ind or any character I mentioned. Again, I'll go here, format, suffix. I can add suffix. Suffix is in the end. Say US. Say OK. See, this is with the transform. Same thing if I'll do with this one. Say, let me go here. Let me select this column itself. Add column. Go here. I'll say add prefix. Same thing. I'll say ind and I'll say OK. See, a new column is created. Now let me select this again and I'll say suffix. Here I'll say hyphen US. See, so like this, if you go to this format, I can convert the text. This is called as transform or add column. So when I say transform, it will transform the data. Otherwise, I'll go to this column and it will add a new column with converting these options, whatever is available. Right, let me close this. This is for text. Next is about splitting of the columns. There are so many options in this. Let me first import the data. Say split columns. Select this. Say OK. Split of the columns are actually used to split the existing column. You can say this, there are so many columns here. Let me make a duplicate of it. You can just say right click and say duplicate. I'll get one more copy of it. Here, for every option I've kept one column so that it will be easy for you to work on this, say data. Split column, see here, so many options are there. Same thing, I'll find it here also, see split column. So I can do this either in this transform, or I can go here and I can split this here as well. Let me select this split by delimiter. When I say split by delimiter, delimiter is nothing but a character which is separating the data. In this case, it is hyphen. I've selected this, say split by delimiter. It will ask what is a delimiter. It will automatically take the delimiter here. If you say this, it says hyphen. And here we have different options. Leftmost delimiter. That means only this first delimiter, whatever is there, only that will be split. Rightmost delimiter, the last delimiter, whatever is there, that will be split. Each occurrence of the delimiter means every occurrence wherever the delimiters are available, the column will be split. We have some more options here. So when I click on this, it says by columns or by rows. Okay, this I'll show you how to work on this. First we'll finish this. Say I'll mention this as each occurrence of the delimiter. I'll say okay. See what will happen. See, it is splitting it into 3 different columns here. Say 1, 2, and 3. Next one is split by characters. I have these characters here. Depending on the number of characters I can split. So here I don't have to bother about the delimiters. Let me go here. I'll say split number of characters, and here it says number of characters. Here I'll say 3 or say 4. Here again it is similar to what we had with the delimiter. Once the left side, so only these first 4 columns will be splitted. I'll show in the second table how to work on this. See, I'll say repeatedly wherever that 4 characters are there, every 4 characters the columns will be split. Say okay. See 1 2 3 4. Say 1 2 3 4. So here it is 0 0 0 1. So it became 1 here because it's a number. So we had this. You can see this. See 0 0 0 1. So it was 4 characters. So 0 has been removed and it has become 1. And next the remaining character, whatever is there, that will be as a separate column. Split by position. I can specify the positions. Say go here by position. I have to mention here, say first I'll say position from 0 then to 3 characters, then with 5th characters. I'm just mentioning it here. Use comma. See, if you're not using this comma properly, space, you might get error. Can you see this? It specify the error. That means you click here, say please enter comma separated list of ascending integer numbers. That means you should give proper comma separators here. Let's say okay. See 0 to 3 characters, that is 0 1 2, then again it is start from 3 to 5, that is 3 and 4, then from 5th character it is split. So I gave the split position as 0 comma 3 comma 5. So if you see this, the index start from 0 0 1 2, it got split. Now say 3 3 and 4, it got split. Then the 5th position here, from here, like this. So I can specify the position and also I can split the columns. Next one, split by lowercase to uppercase. So what it will do, sometimes when I'm actually extracting the data from somewhere, I have some characters with small letters and then continued with capital letters. I want to split this till wherever small letters are there, I should get the value, and then the next should get split by capital letters. So split lowercase to uppercase. See, till wherever that lowercase was there, that will be in a separate column, and then all the capital letter will be in a separate column. Same thing we have from uppercase to lowercase as well. Say uppercase to lowercase like this. Next one is I have something from digit to non-digit. Here this is the digit and this is non-digit. Till wherever number is there, till there it will get split, and till where the text is there, that will become a separate column. Say I'll go here, I'll say digit to non-digit. See, digit will come in one column and non-digit will go to another column. Non-digit in the sense it will be characters. Same thing I can do for non-digit to digit as well like this. This is for just splitting. Let's go and see some more options in this. I'll make one more duplicate. Select this. Let me select this delimiter. Go to this split. Again, I'll come back to this delimiter. So we had seen this leftmost delimiter. So first I wanted to understand what is split. So you guys understood what is split now. Now we'll see how we can split with different options. I'll say leftmost delimiter. I'll say OK. See, only the first delimiter which was there, that will get separated, and rest all will be a separate column. Same thing can be done for right also. If you want, you can make a duplicate column here. If you think that you want to retain that, let me select this split column delimiter, and here I'll say rightmost. Click on this. See, the rightmost delimiter will get split like this. Fine. Let me go here. I made a duplicate of this. Let me select this. Say split. Say by delimiter. It's talking about the advanced option. Now the split happened by columns. That is, it is splitting here. Say one column, two column, three column, or whatever I've selected here, that will get separated. But let's say I want this to be in rows. Row in the sense, see, the first whatever is there, that will be in one row with all the records. Then BO, whatever is there, this will come down and all the records will be there. Then this value, whatever is there, that will come down and all the values will be there. So every record, whatever is there, this will become 3 records now. Say I'll go here, say rows, and then I'll say OK. See, it got split into rows now. FUR, BO, and this one. If you say this, every records will become 3. Say 1, 1, 1. This is for advanced options. Same thing can be done in all the other options as well. Say for example, we have this split by number of characters. If you go here and say number of characters, see here, have the same option here, columns or rows. So you can use this. I'll not show again. Same thing here. If you go here, if I say rows, and if I say is that okay, let me say by 3 characters, and if I say once for the left possible, that means it will just split into 2 rows only, because I'm mentioning it as only once. Say OK. This time I'm giving it as rows. See, it gets split into 2 rows here. So you can split a data either into different columns or into different rows, and these options are available in all the options. If you go here and select, say here lowercase to uppercase, wherever you see that advanced, wherever you can see that advanced, you can convert that into rows or say columns. This is for splitting of the data. So you can use this when you feel that the data has to be split and you can create the records. Say for example, I'm creating a report on this furnitures or say office or technologies. I've got the data something like this wherein I have to get only the report for this furniture. Then I cannot create the reports here. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll split this, then that itself will become as a separate column like this. Then I can use this column itself for the reports. Or here I have this. See, I have some of the options here. So these also I can use and I can create the reports. So there are some more options which we'll cover in our next section because there are so many things which we have to go in depth. Okay, so I'll stop here for the day.